What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to I1 Entertainment. We are here, another exit interview for the I Survivor Port Royale season 37. We are here with our third juror, Max, wonderful infinity placement of eighth. Max, how are you? How have you been since being asked to walk the plank?
Oh, well, night one, I was not good. I was not doing too hot. I was pretty upset, pretty bummed out. Because I didn't realize, that I was as big of a target as I was. So that was a little tricky for me to realize and deal with and come to terms with that, I was being targeted for a reason and I wasn't just voted out to get voted out. But since then I've been doing pretty good. It's definitely a lot more freeing, I've noticed. I have a lot more time on my hands.
Is there like
Uh,
an is there like an adjustment period that comes with, consuming yourself in this game and then all of a sudden just not being in it?
oh, 1,000%. I don't get my good morning texts from my alliance anymore. I don't talk to them at all. I can't because they're, still in the game and I'm sitting here in jury. So it's really difficult because I mean, obviously, as everyone knows, she was around a lot of the time for my game and stuff. So she got to meet a
She's
lot
like
of,
our honorary 21st cast member over
yeah, she was honestly the honorary
there.
21st member. Um, so a lot of the crew got to know her too. So obviously I spend a lot of time with her, but when I am with her, I would be texting people and I would be talking to people and she would want to talk to them too, because she became really close with them. So that's definitely been an adjustment. Just actually having free time again. Cause when I say I spent all my time in this game, I was locked into the game. I mean, I woke up, was on Discord, went to bed, was on Discord. It was kind of crazy how big of a impact it had on my life. And now that I'm out of it, readjusting back to school again and actually doing school and normal things.
So for your first org, was it what you expected, more than you expected?
About 1,000 times more than I expected. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Um, I honestly kind of thought it was just this fun little thing that you, Drew, and Rocky held together, they were hosting, and and it wasn't as big as it was, or as intense, because I suspected it was somewhat live reality games Survivor, Big Brother, but I didn't realize everyone was so committed and so passionate about it. So I think that was a really big shock to me. Probably by the second eviction, I realized I was okay, I'm here to play. I'm not here. I am here to have a good time and have fun, but I'm also here to compete just like everyone else. And it's a lot more intense. And people really do care about winning. And it can be more serious than I thought.
Love hearing that. So we're gonna just reflect on your time in the game quickly. I don't want to take up all your time, but I do want to give you a proper exit interview and reflection time on the game now that it's all said and done. So what was night one like, if you can remember? The cast was being revealed. Yeah, wait, were you two revealed first?
Yeah, I was the first reveal.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
remember we
super
planned
excited.
that because we obviously you're a newbie, so we wanted to put a fresh face out there. But from the newbies, you're not an unknown newbie, you're a known
No, because
newbie, right?
I'm new to orgs, but not technically new to the community. So it was just kind of, I was like, oh, look at me. I was like, haha, what's up? Because I was one of the last people for Mayhem. So that was super difficult. So it felt nice to be first and, and I got to sit back and see all these other people and see who I was competing against. I remember, I think any second someone got released, I immediately watched their Meet Me video. Um, and like gave my 2 cents like to myself on how I felt about them, or if I could see myself working with them, like just off of first opinions kind of. Um and
What
then
were your first
I
impressions of oh sorry.
no, yeah, go ahead. No, honestly,
First
I don't even
impression,
remember what I was gonna I'm probably just
no,
gonna
yeah,
ramble.
first impressions of your tribe. Like you're on the night one call. We're explaining the twist, pirates, roles, this and that, and then we divide y'all into teams. What was your first impression of Blackbeard within
Um
that first night and within the first couple of rounds? We'll say the
well,
first.
I felt we were gonna be really strong off the rip. I thought we had a really good group. Like from what I could tell, it looked like we had a solid, like diverse group of people that were good at separate challenges, and like we were going to be able to cover the board. Sadly, I was mistaken for quite a while. Um, but I remember like night one and like early on, it kind of honestly divided pretty easily. And I don't know why, but I think a lot of people just weren't a huge fan of like, because I remember Anthony got voted out first and like his gameplay was just a little rough. So I think that's kind of what happened. Like that's honestly kind of what started it all. And it kind of just like forced people to work together. Because that vote ended up being 6-4. And I remember Anthony wasn't even suspecting it, I'm pretty sure. So that was definitely a tone setter. Was like we already like kind of blindsided someone, and there's already a divide. We already had a split vote, and so that was definitely something that we really had to that I had to factor into everything.
What do you or like attribute to your success on the tribe? Like regardless of your tribe not being successful in challenges, you were definitely successful socially, politically. What do you credit that to?
I think a lot of it is my ability to connect with people and like just be open and like be able to talk with them for a long period of time. Because like you said, I did have a lot. I'd like to think I had a lot of control um over what happened in pre-merge.
Oh, you did
Um
for sure. Well, now that like the game is over, yes, you're a juror, so I'm not going to spill any like secrets or inside scoops or anything
yeah.
like that. But like to just confirm that you definitely were one of the people in power on the team. I don't ever think that you were ever a target. Your name was never mentioned as a vote. Um, so yeah, your assumptions and your feeling on Blackbeard were 100% correct.
Yeah, I just really think that I was just able to make genuine connections with people and make them feel like I was being open and honest with them so they could do the same with me, because that's how I wanted to play my game. I really didn't want to lie to people. I mean, like if I absolutely needed to, I would, but I don't like lying. I'm not really good at it. Um, I have a lot of like different facial expressions and body expressions that I give off when I have different emotions. I'm a very like visually emotional person. So I remember Benji, it was during merge, he had told me to stop being so emotional because it was like a tribal where I thought I was gonna get eliminated and I didn't. And he's like, I can read you the whole tribal, like you just need to breathe and just like calm down and everything. So that's definitely one thing that I'm going to work on and like take into notice for like future seasons and everything for like future games. Um, but pre-merge was just really a moment for me to just make new friends, really, is what I kind of treated it as I was just kind of getting to know people, letting people know about who I am, what I'm about. And I think a lot of that had to do with the 24-hour challenge. I think I wouldn't have secured my spot in the tribe as well as I did if it wasn't for that challenge. Not only because I did the best on our team in the challenge, but also because of how open I was the whole night and like everything I shared with everybody and like how open everyone else was. That really helped me solidify my spot. to make sure that I was going to be safe no matter where the numbers were going and like how small we were going to get before merge.
Other than the tribe losses, it was almost a pretty flawless pre-merge game, right?
I mean, I'd like to think so.
Do you have any regrets from that portion? Like one thing that you would have done differently or that you would have done that you didn't?
I mean, like, I don't know if I would have ever actually mutinied, but like the thought definitely crossed my mind is like, what other allegiances could I have made, or like, could I have worked myself out into Calico somehow in time before they would gone to a tribal or something? That's always just like a fun scenario kind of thing to think about.
You're segueing into a good transition into like the next part, the earthquake / early part of the merge. Okay, so, and I was talking about this with, was it production maybe? I'm not sure, but it came up in conversation somewhere, and that was your role as when you became Powder Monkey, right? You had this opportunity, as well as all the other Powder Monkeys, to associate and mingle with whoever else was Powder Monkey on the other team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, it looked like you and Julia had like a good rapport. Like, I don't know. What was your perspective of Julia as a Powder Monkey when you did talk and hang out with her, if you know?
Yeah, no, I was a really big fan of Julia, actually. I was kind of bummed that we didn't get to work together really, just because obviously numbers were not going to be in our favor if we attempted to work together. So it was kind of one of those like, hopefully we play together in the future kind of things, because I would definitely see us working really well together and everything like that. Because we did have a really good, just like natural, just kind of like jokey interaction, I guess you could say. Like that's just kind of how we were. So I was definitely a fan of her. It just really wasn't in my cards to ever get the chance to work with her, really. So that's kind of unfortunate. And I don't know if that was like just because of how the game played, or how like my game was set up, or how her game was set up. But that definitely was someone that I wanted to work with from the beginning of the game, but I just never got the chance to.
So you made the merge, and I still want to keep this storyline in the back of your mind, because it's going to be brought up again here in a second. So you make the merge, congratulations. And you start the merge off with a bang by using the Inuit spot. Now, what led to your decision in picking Zach, Zach, Velian, and Julia?
Well, Velian, actually, I can say this. I don't care. I saw Velian as very much of a GOAT, not as the greatest of all time, not in the slightest. The opposite, as like, someone that just gets used as like a pawn, pretty much. I had no reason for going after him. He wasn't that good in comps, and so like I wasn't too worried about him getting voted out. I wanted JB up there because I knew JB and Julia were working together, but JB had saved himself, obviously, with winning immunity. I actually didn't want Zach up there in the slightest bit. I was supposed to be working with Zach, which we will touch on later. Me and Zach just kind of had this unspoken thing where it was like, I want to work with you, you want to work with me, very open, trustful thing, which is very ironic for me to say because he preached this very open game, and it ended up coming around to not being very open in the end when I get voted out. So I just, maybe that could have been a little slip up in my game. Whether like, I don't think playing it was the slip up. I think maybe who I put up there was a slip up.
Yeah. Okay. So this is not where we're going. So you had this opportunity more so than the other Blackbeards. Like there's four of you, right? There's
Yeah.
only four of you, right? Benji was able to meet some of these people during that one round when Bobby left. I think
Hmm.
that round.
Yep. It
Um,
was. That's when JB switched over.
so I mean, obviously, I really didn't think about this when it was going, or like when it was happening. Like, oh, did Max make a wrong move there? Not that you did, because there's no saying you or Julia or you or Valiant or anybody would have actually worked together going forward, right?
Yeah. No,
But at
exactly.
the but I was just like, oh damn, there was an opportunity. There could have been, right, an opportunity for Max and Julia because they were the powder monkeys. So, and in my mind, I was like, okay, well, Benji has a reason for possible for like. It felt like other people on Blackbeard had a reason for those three to go up, and maybe you had a reason for a different three to go up. Any regrets at all about the three that you chose?
Um, in the moment, no, because I was doing it to secure Blackbeard. I wanted to protect Blackbeard, so no, I don't have any regrets on who I put up there for like that situation.
Yeah. So we're making our way through the merge. Shockingly, Blackbeard is not like the four of y'all are doing it. I was shook. Tribe accounts after tribe accounts, at least three of them, where Blackbeard went unscathed.
Yeah.
What why? What happened? What do you think is the reason why Blackbeard was successful up until that point? So, because honestly, y'all could easily just went bam, 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 bang, bang, bang right
Oh,
out.
we honestly, I'm surprised we didn't. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't, all Calico final or finale. But honestly, I think a lot of it had to do with we knew that Calico's tribals were not going well and were very messy every time. So we kind of jumped on that and we kind of conquered or yeah, like split and divide, or whatever the conquer and divide and conquer. There we go. Oh my lordy. But that was kind of our method. So like me and Rachel got really close with Zach, and Benji got really close with Jazz, and so did Ty. And I got close with Nolita about like because we had talked about some of our personal interests and stuff like that. So we really tried to make sure that we had at least a few people that we had close bonds with on the other side that we could hope that they flip. And honestly, that first merge round, or no, it was the second merge round. I'll talk about the first one first. The first one wasn't too bad because Julia had a big target on herself naturally. I honestly don't know the whole backstory of why she has such a big target. I just know that she's played a lot. People talk a lot about her. Whatever. That's all I really knew. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. But then we get to the second one where JB got voted out. And that one was tricky because Zach didn't want to vote with us because he liked JB and that was just like a name he couldn't say at the time. So we were like, oh great, we're not gonna have the numbers to get him out. And so we kind of had to play it as let's hope he doesn't win immunity. And hopefully we've made enough strong connections that they will vote with us still. But if not, we had our power, or we had some powers, I think, still at the time. This was before auction or right after auction. So we had powers. So we like kind of had it mapped out, like if we needed to use stuff, we would. But thankfully, Bree and Jazz were on board with voting JB out because there was some internal conflict, I think, prior pre-merge that I don't know the full extent of. And then Bree went out of conveniency, and honestly, she played a messy game in my eyes. I don't care if she sees this. She knows it. I'll admit it. I said it during the tribal. I've said it over and over again. She was going after me. I was going after her. It's kind of how it was. Do I know why she was going after me? Not in the slightest bit. All I know is that my name was coming out of her mouth. And so I took the actions into my own hands and very, very, very aggressively pushed for Bree to get voted out. Because I don't take it lightly when my name is coming up and I'm not okay with it. Like, there are times when you have to, like be okay with the results and like realize when you're in a corner and there's nothing you can do. But that was not one of those moments, so I wasn't about to let that happen.
And then it all falls apart.
Yeah, it does.
What happened?
So honestly, I had no idea Nolita had an idol. None of us did, at least to my knowledge. And I honestly like should have expected it that like my name was gonna come up because I had gotten votes the prior one before. But we had talked to like Calico people and stuff, and we had thought that we were pretty set up to send Nolita home because she was a quiet but good competitive player. So she was like flying pretty under the radar, but still doing good in comps. So we were like, fair person. So me and Rachel talked to Zach. He's down for it because, he doesn't get enough information from her. Whatever. Benji goes and talks to Jazz about it. She's on board, or supposedly. And like I talked to Jazz before the competition even, and we had talked about voting Nolita out beforehand. So I think I may have felt a little too comfortable, maybe. But then we get to voting and I play my spyglass that I got from Benji because I had a bad feeling about the vote. I didn't think that it was going to be a unanimous vote. And just to my surprise, it says 3-3-1. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So I vote for Nolita, and then Rachel uses her desert band-aid, so they all get read out loud. And I try to play an idol. Now, here's the thing about this idol. I was like 99% sure in my own head that it was fake because I had known about Bobby getting the original idol, and then I had found out that he gave it to Livy, and then when Livy got voted out, he gave it to Rachel. So I was hoping that there was 2 idols, but I had like suspected that it was probably fake because we had found it out or me and Benji had found the idol after Bobby had already found it. So I just kind of took a shot in the dark and I went for it. And I mean, I could have had my alliance done some things to maybe save me, but it was kind of last ditch efforts at that point. And I'm okay that they didn't, so they could further themselves in the game. But yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of, I've started to come to terms with it and accepted for what it is. And I'm happy that I used my vote, or that the vote count was read out loud, because then I knew who stabbed me in the back and who didn't, and who was being honest with me and who wasn't. Because that's going to give me a really good idea of where my vote will be going. Whoever is sitting in the final chairs, based on how I got voted out and also how they played their game overall.
So, you went out, you had some words to tell those that you had some words to tell to. Has any of your opinions or things you've said changed at all a few days later, around later?
I mean, I probably overreacted a little bit. Just maybe. Just a slight titch. But I am proud of how I went out. And I think that once I'm able to talk to the people outside of the game, they can and I can have an understanding about what and why was said, because there were some facial expressions about things I said, and I think it's funny because it doesn't make sense for the facial expression I was given for what I was calling them out for. But we'll touch on that. We can get back to that like at reunion time or something. We'll see. If we really want to get spicy. But honestly, I mean, I'm upset at them, at the people that voted me out. So no, I don't think my opinions really changed, but I'm not going to hold it against them. I'm not going to hold a grudge. Because it is a game and I have to remember that, to not take it too personally. And remember that they wanted me out because they were scared of me and not because I wasn't a good player.
Period. As a juror, what are you looking for in a winner?
Someone who played a strong game, but also wasn't totally fake. Like, I would prefer them to have played a pretty honest game, but I will respect strategic lying. I don't want to call it just lying to lie, because it's like lying only in specific situations and at specific times when it's absolutely necessary. So I'm gonna try to figure out who did that the best. I'm also going to look back at challenges and see how everyone placed individually and like ranking them kind of, and like trying to map it out, like who was the best challenge beast and then who was the biggest social threat, and see where those line up and see where they overlap. And hopefully that, on top of the final questions, will give me the person that will and should win.
Who do you think's the front runner?
It's risky because I want to say Rachel, but the thing is she might have to win out to make it to a final seat. And if she can do that, she has it in the bag because she played an amazing social game, came back, had a battle back, was in the lower numbers in merge, like can use that to her total advantage. I think if one of the Blackbeards are in the final seats against two Calicos, a Blackbeard will win it because of the number distribution and their storyline and everything like that. Now, no hate to the Calicos. I love them that are up there. They played an amazing game, but I think Blackbeard people have had more of an impact and more of I don't know what I'm looking for, but more of an impact on the game and everything like that. So I think it's going to be a lot easier for someone like Rachel or Taisha or Benji to give the reasonings to the jury why they should win, even though the jury is technically going to be stacked more Calico than Blackbeard. But ideally, I'm hoping that's not a huge factor into everything. And I'm hoping people see it game as game. And I mean, my vote might slightly be more weighed towards a Blackbeard, but I definitely could see myself giving my vote for someone on Calico's side if they answer their questions correctly and prove to me that they played as good of a game as some of the Blackbeard members.
Who of the remaining 6 is going to have to work the hardest to get your vote as of right now, from your early perception?
Nolita.
Okay.
Or Jazz. Nolita or Jazz, actually. The other 4 have a good case for their vote.
All right. Now, looking back at the whole experience, what are you going to take away from it? Like a year from now, you're going to look back, when April rolls around, you're like, damn, a year ago I was playing iSurvivor. And like, what are you going to reflect on?
I'm probably gonna realize that this was probably my most like chaotic time of my life, because like I was just like always doing stuff and always like thinking and like always mapping stuff out and like just always in the game. I was always like always having fun and always just in the mode. So I'll definitely look back and be like, wow, that was how I started it off. And hopefully I'll be a stronger and better player in a year. And hopefully I can use everything I did in this game to learn and adapt from and build on it. But this one will definitely stay close to my heart, not only because it was my first, but like because of you guys and because of production and everything. And because of like the connection that we had before this and everything. So like it'll always have a special place in my heart no matter what.
Thanks.
But it definitely was a great way to start because it was difficult, but it was fun.
Amazing. Difficult and fun. That's what we want. We want difficult. We want fun. So, 2 more questions for me. In the future, for future iSurvivor players, for those newbies who watch the season, they're thinking about applying, what would be Max's advice to those future castaways and future pirates?
Do it, go for it. Don't chicken out at the end like I almost did, because I was very close to chickening out. Just really have fun with it and be yourself. Yeah, you're not gonna click with everyone. Yeah, you're not gonna be friends with everyone, because sure as hell I wasn't. But just be in the moment, because it catches up on you and it goes by a lot faster than you feel like. Because like my 30 days were crazy. Like, yeah, it was 30 days, but it felt like a week and also a year at the same time. And I'll tell you right now, these are going to be some of the best bonds you'll make, even though they're online and over a computer screen. These are some of the people I've told my whole life to for no reason, just because I felt like I could. And it's a safe space and it's super fun. And you guys will absolutely love every second of it. Even if you get voted out early or late or whenever you get voted out, you're going to have a fun time for the time you were there, because the challenges are exhilarating and they keep you on your toes because you never know what's coming. And production does a really good job at keeping you on edge at all times. So it's definitely worth it.
Thank you, Max. And my final question, not saying it'll be tomorrow, a couple months from now, maybe even a year, maybe even 2 years, 3 years down the line, depending, time permitted. If Drew or Rocky, probably Rocky, in your inbox being like, hey, Max, you want to play again?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. In a heartbeat. Like, no questions asked.
Oh, love it. Max, do you have any final words before we put Max's iSurvivor 37 journey in the books?
No, not really. I mean, I hope people enjoyed watching me. I loved every second of it, and I am super thankful that I got to do this and be a part of it all.
It's been our truest pleasure. You know that, Max. Thank you so much.
Also, let me join production, because that'd be fun.
You would have a blast with us.
Oh my God, I'd be a menace.
But yeah, Max, production loves you on behalf of me, Drew, Rocky, Gwen, Val. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for giving it your all and letting iSurvivor be your first. We'll always remember this. Love you, dude. We'll see you soon. We'll see you at the finale, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
All right. See you then.